Hi, guys. Thank you for staying after to hear me speak. I appreciate it. So how many of you, by a show of hands, actually like to write? Anybody? Okay, it's a good amount of you. I always liked to write. Even back in 6th grade, that's probably when I started writing. And it was just something I always enjoyed doing. And I knew that I would somehow make a career of it, but I never actually thought I'd become an author. So when I went to college, I majored in communications at Boston College. I kept taking writing classes, but if you want to be a writer, the best way to get experience is to actually get an internship. And that can really, really help you get a job after college. So the summer of my junior year in college, I actually got an internship at YM Magazine. I pretty much spent the whole summer picking up dry cleaning, doing floral arrangements, which is something I know nothing about, and just opening reader mail. After college, I got a job in the magazine industry. And my first job out of college was at Mademoiselle magazine, and they're still not letting me write. And at the time, all I did was open mail. I would open mail for every department in the magazine. I was kind of like a gopher. I would go from department to department. Do you need anything? That was just pretty much my function. And that's pretty much how it works in a magazine. You try to move your way up the ranks to get to do more and more things. And a job actually opened up as her assistant, the entertainment assistant. So I went for it, and I got it. And I thought, well, now I'm finally going to get to do some writing, right? But no writing whatsoever for like at least another 6 months. But I did get to do more entertainment things. And the one thing my editor let me do was, she was the one who actually went out and would go interview Drew Barrymore and Cameron Diaz and Jennifer Aniston and Julia Roberts. And so she'd come back from her interview and she'd say, okay, can you transcribe this? So I'd sit for like 5 or 6 hours and type out everything she said on paper. And it actually was a really good learning experience for me because I kind of learned how to interview a celebrity. So you start with the easy stuff and you leave any questions about a bad breakup, religion, some kind of like feud they're having in the press to the very, very end. Because that way, if you upset them or you tick them off, you know, you've ended your interview. You've asked everything else you need to know. And I started thinking, well, maybe it'd be fun to write a book. Some of the other editors at the magazine had written books. Maybe I could write one. But I knew nothing about writing a book. I had no idea how it worked. And so I actually called up a publisher, Little Brown, who publishes the Click books, the A-List, Gossip Girl, Twilight, and I asked an editor there if she would mind if I took her to coffee, out for coffee, just to pick her brain, ask her how things worked. And she was really nice, and she's actually my editor now to this day. And at the time, she just said, okay, let's talk. What's your idea? And I said, well, I'm an entertainment editor. I want to write about entertainment. I want to write about teen celebrities. And that week, it was actually my job. I had to go on a photo shoot and an interview with Hilary Duff. And we were just taking her to a department store, and she had to go from department to department, picking out her favorite perfume, her favorite shoes, her favorite handbag. Some of you guys, if you've read Secrets of My Hollywood Life on Location, this might sound familiar because it was such a big moment for me. I kind of turned it into a chapter in book 2. And as she was walking around the store, a group of girls started following her. And she didn't even notice them, you know, because she's so used to this at this point. But I couldn't stop thinking about the girls. I would be like asking a question or listening to things, and I kept looking over my shoulder. And I kept thinking, well, what if Hillary wanted to go shopping and she didn't want anybody to know what kind of jeans she bought? She didn't want anybody to know what shoes she picked up or what perfume she was wearing. She just wanted to be by herself. How would she pull that off? And I thought, well, okay, maybe she'd disguise herself as someone and just go out for the afternoon in a disguise. And then I thought, well, what if she wanted to do it for longer than that? What if she wanted to disguise herself for a few months? And I created this girl named Caitlin Burke, who was kind of torn between having a real life and wanting to be a Hollywood celebrity. And so I wrote my proposal, and I handed it in. And I had to write 30 pages of the book and then outline the rest of the book for them. So basically, you write like a paragraph on every chapter in your book. I handed it in, and my editor said, oh, that's really good, but you know what? There's not enough Hollywood in it. So I went back. I reworked the proposal. And that time they said, it's really good, but there's kind of too much Hollywood, and there's not enough high school. So I went back. I rewrote the proposal again. This went on for like 6 months. The third time, I was really lucky. They said, you know what? We love the idea. Go for it. We don't want you to just write one book. We want you to write 2 books. And that's what I did. That day I actually called my magazine. I was on maternity leave at this point. I was due back to go to work the following week, and I called and said, I'm not coming back. I'm gonna stay home and I'm gonna write novels.
If you're writing a novel or thinking about writing and getting something published, where would you find an agent?
There are people out there who will try to take advantage of you. So you wanna make sure you go with somebody legitimate who's gonna really help you get your book published. And obviously also know they should not be taking any money from you. Your agent is going to get you a book deal, and then she'll take a cut of that book deal. But you do not pay her any money up front or at all. She always gets my checks before I do and then gives me my portion of them.
Who would you say are your own favorite authors, I guess, and your favorite novels that you read?
My favorite novels? I'm a very big Meg Cabot fan, who wrote The Princess Diaries. I just really, really, really like her. I just think she's very funny and witty. I don't know how she writes, about 5, 6 books a year, but I tend to read a lot of teen novels now just because that's what I write, and I feel like that's what I enjoy reading. So she's probably my favorite at the moment. I really like Sarah Manowski right now. She wrote the Bras and Broomstick series. I'm reading all the shopaholic books. I like light things, and I know that's terrible because I know I hear a lot of authors speak and they talk about how they grew up reading Jane Austen and those are their favorites. But for me, I just want to read something that's fun and makes me laugh and takes me away from whatever I'm going through at the moment.
What about in high school? What was your favorite work of literature?
My favorite work? Well, I really did like Catcher in the Rye, and I know I'm sure everybody says that, but I really, really enjoyed that. And then, of course, when I wasn't in school, I was reading these books that aren't even around anymore, but they were the Sweet Valley High series. There was like 130 of them, and I had to read every one. I just loved them.
Say you like the whole entertainment industry, right? Do you think, but you don't want to be like out there like a singer or actress, but do you think that's a good occupation, like the whole magazine stuff, so you can like talk with the stars and all this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, if you like entertainment, there's a lot of different ways you can go with it. You don't actually, have to interview stars on the red carpet. You could work for a magazine. You could work for, a network or a TV show. You're all really lucky that you live in New York and you're a 40-minute train ride to Manhattan, because pretty much every show you can think of in every magazine that's out there and every studio has a branch or is based in New York. So your chances of getting a job in that field are so much greater than if you lived in the middle of the country. So you just have to start looking into it and find your niche, see what you really like about it, and then try to find a job in that area. The postcards you might have gotten handed out actually has an email address on it, which is my email address. You're always welcome to email me anytime if you have questions about writing or anything else. If you're allowed on MySpace, my MySpace address is on there too. But thank you. Oh, you really read it. What's your name?
Sarah.
Sarah with an H or just S-A-R-A?
With an H.
Okay. What's your name?
Morgan.
M-O-R-G-A-N?
I'm just standing up here because my mom. Just kidding. Here's Tiny.
Thanks, Alexa.
Thank you.
I can't sign this in pink for you, right? What's your name?
Oh, darn it, you wanted the pink.
I'm a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sorry. I should have done purple for you.
I